I'm joined now by Liam, his mum, and other people from in and around Stoke. Liam, we saw you in the film there. You're about to embark on life as a new parent, but you'll be living in a parent's house. I mean, that's not what you hoped for, presumably.
Well, no, it's not ideal, but, I mean, I've been very lucky to have supportive parents, and in that respect, and I know there's a lot of people who haven't had that sort of who haven't got the sort of money, and it is causing mega problems for everyone because nobody's got the wage or they can't get the hours in.
And it's not just that you can't buy, you can't afford to rent either.
No, because nobody's offering a long enough contract to even save up the money or a high enough wage to do a shorter contract and earn the deposit on a house.
I mean, Sarah, as Liam's mum, you know, are you worried about the prospect that he will never, like you, this is your house, he will never own his own house?
It is a worry because a lot of if you want a mortgage, you are talking about big deposits these days, and benefits. You're on the fine line of how many hours you work, and Liam works part time, so I really don't know, from now what he's going to do, to be honest.
And that's one of the big problems, isn't it? That Liam is lucky to have work. But he doesn't get enough of it.
He's lucky to have work, but it's a fine line between whether he qualifies for being on benefits or whether he will be able to buy a house. I really, I am worried about it.
And when you look back at when you were starting out, was it different?
It was a lot different because, I was able to buy a house and not work while my children were young. I didn't have to work.
Which is a luxury Liam's certainly not going to be able to afford for a while.
No, definitely not.
I mean, Liam can't move out of his house. You had to move out of a house you love.
Yeah. Well, I left school before my 15th birthday, walked straight into a job, which Liam hasn't got that luxury. And 30 years ago, I built my own house, and which the family loved. But my children left home, and we downsized. The houses the developer built thermally are brilliant, which means, being as I'm a pensioner, my wife's a pensioner, we're saving money with the fuel, we're saving money with a smaller house, and I've started a part-time job to supplement my pension.
So
I've
what
got
do you
that
feel
luxury.
about having to do that? I mean, in some ways you've been lucky, always in work, got your own house, but now having to work again.
I want to work is more than having to. To maintain the standard of living we had whilst I was working, I couldn't do that as a pensioner. So by taking on another job, it means I can maintain some sort of standard of living.
There is an argument, of course, that people like you taking on a job mean people like Liam are not getting the hours that they really need.
That's true. But the job I'm taking on, probably Liam wouldn't want to do because it's very low paid anyway. But it supplements the income. But the thing is, I've got 3 children and 5 grandchildren. And as they grow up, the costs go up. And I couldn't help them on a pension. So it's actually helping them, and it's helping their parents to work, maintain work.
Chloe, can I just bring you in? I mean, you're a first-time buyer and a young first-time buyer. I mean, do you consider yourself a good news story?
In a sense, yes. But I mean, not too young. Going into my late 20s. My partner's in his 30s. So for us to be buying our first house at this age, I don't think's brilliant. I think we should have already been able to buy it when we were a bit younger, and
There's much talk of the economy really improving. I mean, is this evidence of your own economy improving, the fact that you're able to afford to buy this house?
In a sense, but we've been lucky and fortunate that there's offers out there for first-time buyers that have helped us along the way. We wouldn't have been able to do it without the help that we've had from the different schemes that the housing offers.
And what about work? I mean, you're doing a job that isn't your ideal job in order to be able to buy this house.
I love my job, and it is what I wanted to do. But I mean, I studied to do design, and that's what I wanted to do. But obviously, at the time, I come out of university, and there wasn't a jobs available. So you have to take what you're given, and it's transpired is that I have got a position where I'm happy, but it's not my chosen path.
I mean, we're talking here in Davos Drive about the talks that are going on in Switzerland, in Davos, about world economy, all the top business leaders and bankers and politicians, they're all there. Does it mean anything to you? Do you hope it will bring about the sort of change that you'd like to see?
Well, I don't know. I think, you know, they're far away having this meeting, and it's like they might as well be on the moon or something, because, you know, they need to be here and seeing what's going on, really. And, you know, there's a lot of difficulties for a lot of people.
Is it a talking shop, or is it something useful going to come out of it? They're politicians, and politicians will always want to get together in luxury places to talk. It's been going on for hundreds of years. But I do agree that the reality of life is here in Biddulph, not in Davos or in London. It is here.
Is there any sense, do you think, of politicians in general, of the business leaders understanding what life in Biddulph is like, life in Stoke?
I wouldn't say there is. I'd say the same problems are still in Biddulph as the same problems when we started in the recession, and we've been told on a countless amount of occasions that we are coming out of the recession, and there's just no signs of it here.